welcome back to the Rusty Ferret podcast. I am so glad you're here, and I want to take a quick minute to say thank you for all your nice comments on the last two vlogs, podcasts. I haven't responded to comments because I have been all up inside my head. I will be doing that later on this week, so although this is Friday, so yeah, I will. Wait, shut up. See, because I record this during the week and it goes up on Sunday, I mean I'll reply to the comments before the next one comes up. Yeah, it's not you, it's me. I am wearing my Diafanía by Camila Larsen, and it is so nice. I love it. I will admit I did just put this on for the podcast. I have been wearing, again, my Christmas hoodies, because hoodies are just like a hug to me. But this is nice, isn't it? I do like it. The yarn for this is Old Maiden Aunt, and it's her Shetland cobweb lace, held double in the colourway Buttermint. Would recommend. I would highly recommend. Anything a little yarn is just yes, please. So I have made some progress on my Catterline. Let me show you. If I can find it. It's at my feet. Here we go. Oh, now. Oh, I've got a marker to tell me which side's the front. Look, I have done one. Oh, that looks weird. It's because it's not finished, therefore it's not blocked. I've done a sleeve, I've done the body, and I'm nearly done the other sleeve. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. You can't really see the pattern. Well, you can kind of see it, but once it's blocked, you'll be able to see the zigzags, the stitch zigzags much better. But this has been such a great wee project, to sit and work on in the evenings. The chart, I used the charted instructions. I did have some issue of my own doing. So the yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners Essential DK that I overdyed with purple. And I did do a very slapdash job of dyeing it. And I'm not hating it. I like the kind of tweedy things. What I did was I tied the tires too tight. So it created a resist for the dye so that the dye didn't penetrate under the tires. Hence why there's the little like white speckles. Wasn't worried because it was for me, and I can always just chuck the whole jumper in a dye pot and, Bob's your uncle, done. But I was aware that the purple came out in two different shades across the two different pans. Again, because it was for me, I didn't really care. And I thought, what I can do is do some helical knitting and do some, what's the word? Like, do one row, one colour, one row. Like, what is the colour? What's the colour? Oh my goodness. It'll come to me. So I started off, this starts off at the bottom up. So the bottom was started in the round. So that's really easy to do different, like one row the other. Remember my tambourine cardigan that's got the stripes on the body? I was trying to avoid that. So yeah, it kind of blends beautifully. And I'm like, I'm not going to have to chuck this in the dye pot. This is fine. Until it got to, you separate for the arms and you do like the back and the front separate. So you're going backwards and forwards. And that was where the problem was with my tambourine. Was I was using one ball to do across and back, another ball to do across and back, and it was creating these like stripes of colour. So in my brain, I was like, okay, I can do like run 4 balls at the same time, like go across with one, back with the other, across with one, back with the other. Maybe if I'd done 3. Oh. I kept ending up with all the balls at one side. Which makes sense, because if you were doing 2, that's how it would work, right? Maybe if I'd done 3, 1 across, 1 across. one bag. Oh yeah, because you can't do that. One across. Anyway, maybe 3 would have worked. My brain can't even. That was my chair. My brain can't even work that out. But it wasn't working. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to accept it. I'm just going to knit with like the one ball. And I'll overdye it once it's finished. And you can't. I don't think you can. Oh no, you can. Can you see the different in colours? So I will be overdyeing this with purple again once it's finished. So it might be a wee while until you see this actually blocked and done, because I am just going to hang on to it and chuck it in the dye pan when I have the dye pans up. So yeah, that was a me problem. That was me not. I was just like, I just want to dye this and get working with it, and then didn't really give it my everything. So yeah, don't be a me, guys. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. That's the back, sorry. I'm really pleased, and I think it's going to be dark cozy. I think it's going to be a really good fit. I'm excited to see, like, when you spread the texture out. Again, you can't really see that. It's really nice. The wool's kind of hard, but not like in an uncomfortable way. It's just because it is 100% wool. That's what you expect, I suppose. And my only other concern, and this happens to me every time, it happened with this. The pattern, the size I'm doing is the XL1, I believe. Oh, that was squeaky. Yeah, so I'm doing the XL1, and that requires, sorry, I'm flicking through my iPad. So it's 1,070 meters it's required, and I have 1,115, I think, meters. And each ball is 230 meters, so it would be into my second ball, well, my last ball, sorry. But I'm nearly finished the sleeve, and I have this much left, and one of these. I don't know what I've done wrong. Again, I need to check the gauge and see. It's definitely a me thing. But yeah, it's always a bit concerning when you're like, I've got a whole ball left, and I'm not meant to. A ball and a half, really. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it, and I can't wait to wear it going into the summer months. I really like that it's going to be a kind of, it looks quite cropped, but I don't think it's going to be cropped once the stitches are blocked out. But yeah, very good, very, very good. So we all know what that means. That means that whip is finally going to be finished before I speak to you next. Therefore, I need to pick a new project. Even more importantly, I'm going to head up to my mum, well, my parents. I always say my mum's, but I mean my parents, on Sunday. And just me and Oscar. Mark, we're ditching Mark and staying here. He's staying here, should I say. So that means I'm going to have extra knitting time. So maybe I'll need more than one project, shall we say. So I need to pick. You've seen most of these before. No, you've definitely seen 2 of these before. So we'll just quickly run through them for new viewers. Aye. So this is Logan Girl bag with the party unicorns. I love it. In here is my Trolls World Tour yarn. And I can't remember who dyed this. Let me check. Yeah, by Fab Funky Fibres. This will be a pair of gloves, possibly 2 pairs of gloves. I'm not sure if I'm feeling gloves, although a small project might be a good idea. Next up is, and this is probably what I'm going to cast on, is my Whiistlebare yarn. It's so pretty. This is the Yeavering Bell base, and the colorway is, oh, I never remember, Hopeful Heart. And I got this while I was down babysitting Alice's farm, and it's just delightful. My plans for it are, and I'm going to have to check this, I'm not very organised today, I do apologise. So my plans for this is to be, and I'm going to say it wrong, and I'm really sorry, a Lysning by Skeindeer Knits. Ellie had a sale on, I'm not sure if it's still running, go check out her Instagram and stuff. And it was birthday 20s, so it was 20% off her patterns, so I was like, well, I'm going to buy that anyway. I'm going to get some money off. So that's probably going to be it. It's like a, what's the word? A fadeaways style shaped shawl with kind of like the gusset down the middle. It makes it sit on your shoulders dead nice. And I'm going to add some fringing. One of her samples has got fringing on it. Sorry, I'm itchy. Yeah. And I love a bit of fringe. We all need some fringe. Oh, I did speak to Martin about fringe for a sewing project, and he sent me his recommendations, and there are some neon fringe. So that might be happening, but not soon, because there's too much to do. Yeah, so that's another option. I was tidying my stash the other day. I just got the feeling there's like hair in my actual disaster. I just got the urge to tidy my stash the other day and to consolidate it into boxes because it was everywhere. And I did that. And I was like, I came across, well, there was so much yarn that I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to find something to use you with. And I was like, no, you've already picked out things that you want to do from like last year and you haven't completed them all. So do those things first and then you get to like shop the stash. I came across, however, this bad boy from Wulla, and I got this as part of the, I believe it was the first Tits Out collective, and it's like super thick, like pencil woven almost, and I think this needs to be like this like this ridiculous hat. I did also buy some needles to knit it with. These are obscene. They're like weapons. Oh, they're a bit dusty. My apologies. But they're like resist painted. So like, I think they must have wrapped thread around it to. I can't explain things good. I don't know if it's my brain goes like 100 miles an hour, or if my brain can't keep up with what I'm saying. Anyway, they must have spray painted these pink, wrapped some thread around it, and then painted it black. I took the thread off. You've got this. But I think they're really cool. They're quite punk gothy. So yeah, I might do a quick hat, because this is just wild and it needs to be worn. I think, no, it'd be okay next to skin, I think. I could tolerate that around my neck. Could be a nice cowl, but I'm feeling a hat. I don't know what this base is. I don't know any information about this. I could find out, right? Okay, I'm gonna read this off the thing. Right. It's by Wulla, Wulla, and it is their super fat base PHAT. It's 100% merino, spun single, 1 to 2 WPI. And it is their we all did, like, if I wanted exposure I'd get my tits out was what it was, and you kind of had to play on that. So theirs was, if I wanted exposure I'd get my tits out, don't blame me if you can't score. And we all chose a charity that we would donate like a percentage of the sales or whatever to raise awareness for. Just so they donated their money to, I'm just gonna check, yeah, MK Act, which is the Milton Keynes accommodation. Like, they provide emergency accommodation for women and kids escaping domestic abuse, and their don't blame me if you can't score is the percentage of domestic abuse that goes up related to when a person's football team loses is shocking. So that was kind of their charity of choice, which I think is amazing, and I just really love the colours, and I'm pure dead excited to knit with it. Love it. Lastly, the other option, and I don't know how to explain to this. I don't know how to explain to this. I knit an electric cardie by Disco Stitch, and I did it by holding, I think, oh god, let's check, let me show you. I think there was like 7 strands of yarn together. I used all the kind of greys that I had kicking about. You can't really. And it just made the cardigan really heavy. I really loved it. I really loved the pattern, but it was just so heavy to wear. So I did end up ripping it out. And I really like the way the kind of yarn looked with all the threads held together. It made a really nice fabric. So I would like to knit something with all this yarn, because there's like, hang on, this is what I've managed to unwind. Yeah, this is going to be a big project. I need to unwind all these back into their single forms. Whoops, hang on, I don't think I can get this all on my knee, can I? I'll try. Little troll, here we go. So I need to unwind all this back into its single plies, and then I'm gonna knit something possibly with 3 strands instead of 7 to get that kind of mottled look, without the weight. It'll probably be a cardigan again. I can probably get maybe more than one garment out of this. There's a lot of yarn in this. But yeah, so that's like a project in itself, is to unwind all the yarn. I'm going to take it up with me to my mum's, and maybe my mum will help me unravel it. If you have any tips for unwinding this, maybe it would be easier to like do it half. Oh, that might be a good idea. I was trying to unwind it into single strands by itself, but then you've got like 7 single strands and you're trying to like it kind of makes a mess. Like you end up with these kind of clumpy bits. But if I just did half and then that half that again, and then you'd eventually end up one, right? That's maybe an idea. I'm going to try that, and I will report back to you when it's finished. Then I need to pick a pattern, what I want to do with it. There was quite a few of was it Isabel Kramer's ones, but I'm not 100% sure on hers for sizing. I apologise for my wheeze. I need to go pick up my inhaler. I can't remember anybody else. Thea Coleman, I think she had some really nice ones I liked. I kind of want a granddad type cardigan that's just like a throw on and it's very comfortable. But I'm not sure. So that's kind of that's the plans at the minute. I would say the Wulla hat will be next, and then the Lysning with my Whiistlebare yarn. I keep putting off doing the gloves, and I don't know why. I think I don't like doing the fingers. I kind of make a bit of a mess of fingers. But I think that'll be what I'm up to. So yeah, that's all my kind of whip planning at the minute. As I said, I went through all my stash just to kind of, do you know when you throw something in a box and then they get all messy, when actually if you tidily put them in a box you could get like 3 times as much in said box? That. But there's so much nice yarn in my stash, so I can't wait to like knit it. I just can't wait to knit it. I've really kind of lost the yarn buying urge. Does that make sense? I've kind of got back to wanting to buy fabric for I'll tell you about that too, but sorry, like buying kind of materials for something. I really want to do some needle punching. Like it was very in like a couple of years ago, and everybody's making rugs with rug guns and things, and I got a wee needle punch thing. And I want to do some latch hooking as well. I haven't done that in years. I just want to do all the things, and I just don't have enough time, basically. Isn't that the same for everybody? But talking about projects, oh god, my brain's all over the place. Fabric wise, I I don't have it here. I will show you it when it arrives, but it was a pre-order. I follow this fabric company that's in England, I believe. Busy Bee Fabrics. I'll put it here. And they've often got some really cool fabric. Often it's character fabric. I'm never quite sure if it's licensed or not. That's a weird thing for me. But before Christmas, they put up that they were going to have Pokemon fabric and Minecraft fabric. And I loved both. But fabric can be quite dear. So I had to pick one. And I picked the Minecraft fabric. So I have bought enough Minecraft fabric to make myself a frock. I don't know what kind of frock. I'm open to suggestions. But I'm so excited to get this fabric. It's just gonna make me happy. I was looking at like Minecraft bed sheets to cut up and use, but I treated myself with my Christmas money and got some Minecraft fabric. So yeah, I'm going to be looking so cool and you're all going to be so jealous. I was just thinking I could knit a creeper jumper. Stop. That's enough. So yeah, so that's my fabric. Okay, so you know how I was working on a quilt? Do we need to discuss this? In my Soca and Joe bag, because they're good for everything and not just knitting. I have this quilt. This bad boy, this thing. And it's not big enough. It's not even like a single size. And I want it bigger. And I was debating what to do with it, and it got put in the like naughty corner. I never feel my camera angle shows. Like, I'm like, I can't always get my head on my projects in. Does that work? Does this work for you? Yeah, it's not big enough. I don't have any more of this fabric because it was it was a collection is what I'm trying to say. And I bought it like hundreds of years ago. So this ended up in the naughty corner in the craft cabinet because I just didn't know how to make it bigger without it making it look really obvious that I'd like slapped some different fabric on the end. So I actually decided that I was just going to take it apart and start again. Like right apart. I've started already. That's how much I have taken off. The reason being is because I wanted it to be so big, I left the most ridiculously tiny amount of seam allowance. I'm going to hit the mic, but can you see? It's like, I don't know, 2 mil. Therefore, it was creating holes, and I've had to go in and like sew up some holes. So it's not my best work. I was just wanting to get it done. I just wanted to do it not for the sake of doing it, but I just wanted to accomplish it. But I have regrets. So we're gonna take it apart, which means lots of unpicking, basically. What I'm also gonna do is I have some plain fabric that I am gonna dye to then dye enough to splice in with this. So it'll be the same. I'm planning the same hexagons. Just it'll have different like dyed bits to like make it look less obvious that I've run out of fabric. But I need to take this apart. So when I was on TikTok, I saw this hack and I was just kind of a bit obsessed. Basically, it's using an electric shaver to shave your stitches, like cut your stitches. So I bought an electric shaver. I highly recommend it. I did Google about electric, like to see if there was an actual thing, like an electric stitch cutter. And there is. And the one I found is about 50 quid. And it's not very big. And I was like, £11 on Amazon. Yes, I'm sorry I used Amazon, but I did. She's sexy. I mean, she's like, I don't know, what's the word, chrome? I don't know, not real chrome, it's plastic. So I have done, as I said, a little bit. And oh my god, it's making so much easier. The one thing that I do find tricky is like starting. So I think I found that if I snip, because like I've done, you know, when you do your end of your line and you kind of go up and back and up, I find that difficult to get in with the clippers. So what I do is I kind of cut that with my scissors, and then like if it doesn't open up like this, I'll like make a wee hole, and I'll film a bit separately so that I can put it in. But I found if you just kind of hold the fabric quite taut and get this in, and you can just like bzz, bzz, bzz. Often it's easier to do it upside down and do it this way, because then you're not the blade's kind of angled away from your fabric, so your fabric is doing this instead of the blade being here and it's going into the blade. Does that make sense? So if you are doing a lot of unpicking and you're not very good at it, I make holes with my scissors all the time. I would recommend trying, if you've got a spare tenner or if you've got a spare hair trimmer that you can use, give it a go. It does make a bit of a mess with threads everywhere, but I also saw a tip that you can just use like a rubber, and that'll like take out all the little, you know, like the little bits that get left. You can't see that. So yeah, so that's another thing that needs doing. So that all needs unpicked, ironed, cleaned up, new fabric dyed, and remade. Oh, it will get done this year. It will, I promise. Oh. Goals. So yeah, that's all the projects that I have. I'm gonna choke, hang on. Yeah, so that's all the projects I've got right now. We're doing a bit of tidying in the flat, so it's a bit of a tip. But apart from that, not much else happening. I said in my last video that January was going to be my planning month, and actually I've taken it as a rest month. I did sit and try and do some planning, but I just wasn't coming, and I was like, my brain doesn't work that I can plan what's happening like the third week of November. So I think I'm going to do it in like quarters, and like plan a quarter. I think that's going to work out best. So my plan for upcoming things, the next kind of dye collection launch, is I want to do a ferret, like from the ferret vault, or from the vault. I have been, let me explain. One of my projects over January was to put all my dye recipes into Airtable. I don't know if you know about Airtable, but it's like a spreadsheet. It's free. It's like a spreadsheet kind of thing, but you can add photos, you can add tick boxes. Like it's quite it's like a step up from just a spreadsheet, because trying to put pictures in spreadsheets, no bueno. So I really like the thought, I like the idea that you can have a spreadsheet, put in all your dye recipes. So you've got like, for example, for mine, I have the name of the colorway, I have what it's dyed in, whether it's a pot of water, if it's a tray, etc. I then put in what colors I need, so that when I'm dyeing that color, because I don't have a studio, my dye is kept under the sofa bed, so I have to go through like a little shopping basket and be like, I need this color. Makes that easier for me. Then I put my recipe, and then I can then link that recipe to, like, I've called it visual library, to another card on a different spreadsheet, which is called the visual library, and I have a picture of the colorway with its name and with the link to the recipe and what like collection it was from, what base it was on, because some recipes work differently on different bases. They work very differently on different like on fiber, like if it's yarn or fiber. So it means I could have like 3 different pictures for one recipe. So yeah, in my mind it makes it simple. However, most 75% of my dye recipes were put into just a Google Doc spreadsheet, typed up, very, very basic. It worked fine. And that's where I was struggling to put photos in. If you've tried to put photos in a Google Doc spreadsheet, no good. Some of my recipes, so hang on, I'm not explaining this in a good order. I have this notebook that when I dyed in the shop, I was down in the basement, and asthma's not good today, sorry guys. I used to write my recipes on pieces of paper, so I don't have any paper to show you. I just used to take a scrap bit of paper, take it with me, scribble down the new recipe as I go, because it's very much I try it, write it down, see if it works. Does that make sense? Like, I don't pre-plan these things, I'll have a general idea. So I decided to invest in a very sexy notebook that would just be for writing recipes in. I would take it upstairs, put it into the spreadsheet. Great. Have I put them all into the spreadsheet? No. Some of them. So I was like, right, well, I'm going to need to go through my notebook and make sure all these are in my new spreadsheet, my new system. I also had a folder of all the loose bits of paper that I had scribbled recipes down on. So the job that I thought would maybe take 2 days has taken me so far 2 weeks, and that's just typing the recipes up. I now need to find photos for all the yarns. So there's some yarn dye things that I'm like, I don't know what that is. What was young LJ doing? Apparently, I started dyeing yarn back in 2015 is when Rusty Ferret was born. That's insane to me, considering like how the business has gone. Anyway, so going through all these recipes has made me realise how many old recipes I have and how good they were. So I'm gonna do a From the Vault. It was Mark's idea, but a From the Vault collection of really old colorways. Some of them I might make better because some of them weren't very good, and like the theory was good, the practice not so much. I have learned a lot, so that's my plan. That's going to be the next update, and I think that's going to be great for me because I feel very scared, to put myself back out there. I've totally retreated off Instagram, which is not great. I haven't had anything to say in my newsletters, so I just haven't said anything, and I just need to get out of a funk. So I thought recipes that are already written down, perfect. Pardon me. That's very much just a you just do. So yeah, that is my idea. I hope that's cool. If you have any vintage ferret that you would like to see, please tell me down below, and I will add it to the list, because you know, I pick things that I like, but some people might have things that they want instead. So I'm excited. I'm especially excited for some goth fades. I feel like I need some of that in my life. But yeah, so that's kind of where my head's at with things. So that is everything that's been going on at Chateau Ferret. I have been doing a little bit of DIY in the close. Plastering a window, not very well, but it's enough. And yeah, that's it. So let me show you something that Mark gave me today. because I'm a bit excited. Mark woke me up. I mean, it was pretty late, but Mark woke me up saying, "The last year Christmas is here. Here you go," and then like flung this you know, one of the cardboard envelopes at me, and I was like, I squished it, and I was like, "Oh, that feels like a Switch game." I opened it, and he bought me the new Pokemon. I don't know what to think. I remember seeing this at, I can't remember when it was, but one of the, not E3 but Nintendo things. Anyway, and I was like, "Oh, that looks really cool," and it's meant to be quite open world, so you can just wander about. And then that was it. I was like, "Well, that's in 2022. That's a long time away." Didn't realize it was out today. And I'd kind of been thinking about it, but didn't. I don't know. I get overwhelmed with decisions. Like, I'm like, "Oh, I could buy that game," but I don't make enough time to play games. So, why would I spend, like, because games are so expensive now. I mean, they should be expensive. I'm not, but like, it's not just a 20-30 quid. It can be 50-60 quid. Which, again, no complaints here. Just, it's a chunk of money, right? She says spending 50 quid on Minecraft fabric. So I just not thought about it. I've not read much about it. But I remember being initially excited at the like when they announced it. So yeah, Mark has bought me this for my Christmas. He pre-ordered it, and I didn't know, and I kind of feel a bit speechless because he's just too good to me. He's so good. So I don't know what the starter Pokemon are. I don't know anything. So if you have this and you want to play with me, although there's not, oh, hang on. So I'm going to go on a ramble. Pokemon normally comes in 2 games, right? So it's the same game, but in one you'll get a certain Pokemon and one you'll get the other Pokemon. So it's to play with friends / buy both games, right? So my first Pokemon game was, I'm just going to show you because vintage, right? My first ever Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow on my beautiful Game Boy Color. She's lovely. My brother also had a Game Boy. Yeah, I've got his here actually. He had a yellow Game Boy, and he also had Pokemon Yellow. And we played this so much, especially when we were on holiday in Spain. We went to Spain once. Great times. And then I got Pokemon Silver, and he got Pokemon Gold. Silver and Gold? Yeah. And again, maybe it was this we played on holiday. Anyway, not important. So I played the shit out of this. I love this. Silver was my game. So it's the same game, but different. So like you would swap your games. Like swap Pokemon. The ones you could only get in each game. And you had to link up with a cable. Yeah, you had to put the cable in and like link up. And then did I have any other games since then, or was it? I don't remember. Anyway, when Mark and I went to Malaysia the first time, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were coming out, and things often get released earlier over there because there's less languages to do or something at the time. I don't know. So I got Pokemon Diamond when we were over there for my DS, and Mark got Pokemon Pearl. I think these are like Asia exclusive covers that, like, can you see that they're shiny? Yeah, so we played this. I like played so much of this when we were out. And then I do have Pokemon X. Oh god, no, I've got Pokemon Black and White. There's so many Pokemon games. It's not important. The Arceus. It's only one. So do you get all the Pokemon in this? do I need friends? I was worried that I would need friends to play this. And that was what kind of put me off. I might not need friends. All that to say, I need friends to play this. But if you are a friend and you want to play with me, we can play Pokemon together. I'm all for Pokemon friends. So yeah. How can you get in touch with me? Give me an email. Drop me an email. We could be pals on our Switches. So yeah, I'm excited. So I don't know what starter Pokemon there are. If you guess, Mark doesn't think there's starter Pokemon. I am a fire starter Pokemon every time, apart from that one time. So yeah, that is enough babbling. I'm gonna go. I really hope you guys are all keeping well. The world is still a scary place right now, and I think that's what's affecting my brain the most, is just how terrifying everything is. People keep getting COVID that I know, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's just getting closer and closer and closer. But yeah, so I'm gonna head back up to Mum's and hide from the world, and that'll be great. Okay, so I'm gonna head. I really hope you are keeping well. As I say, thank you so much for all your comments and your subscribes and just being generally awesome and turning up every fortnight. I say this every week, but it just does mean so much. And I will be replying to everybody's comments. I do apologise for not doing that. Same over on Instagram. If you've left me a comment or shown me your whip, it's not you, it's me. And I don't know what's wrong. But I will fix it. So yeah, I love you all very much. And I will see you next time. Peace. Pokemon, bitches. I am a 12-year-old child. Pokemon and Minecraft is what I live for. That's fine though, isn't it?